Hey, what's going on, everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back here with another daily crypto update. Today's cryptocurrencies are even weaker, and we're seeing a lot of red here. So basically, we didn't get any specific news to cause a further drop. I think that is just a continuation of what we've been seeing. But what is at play here, I think, is some bigger market movements. So Bitcoin is actually holding up surprisingly well. But unfortunately, a lot of the altcoins out there are down significantly, right? Anywhere from 10 to 15%, it seems like. The smaller the altcoin, the more likely it is that it's really going to struggle here. And Ethereum is one that's in the spotlight today. Got a massive drop below $300. This is something that I had predicted, actually, very precisely. I said that we were heading next to $273, and that's basically what's happening right now. So we're down 10% over the past 24 hours. We hit a new 9-month low, I believe, for Ethereum, and this is not a good sign, of course. Now we could still bounce, but the fact of the matter is, what really seems to be happening right now is money is moving away from the altcoins market because at this point it's just not safe, right? And that's just my personal opinion, not financial advice. But I think the general action that we're seeing here is money being pulled out from altcoins and either going into USD, the market cap of the total crypto market has dropped significantly, or going into Bitcoin, right, which is much more stable. And like I've said, there's many reasons why Bitcoin will be the cryptocurrency to hold, I think, in the next couple months. Now, that doesn't mean that Bitcoin won't drop, right? Because we have a load of SEC approvals or disapprovals down the line here in the next few months, and that will either help the market or send Bitcoin much lower. So we can't know what's going to happen with that, but the fact of the matter is there is a potential for Bitcoin to drop more, and that would make everything worse, of course. But for now, Bitcoin is somewhat of a safe haven, and in fact, it got some pretty interesting news today, which is that it actually ended up hitting a 7-month high against the Turkish lira. So Turkey is undergoing a currency crisis right now, and a lot of people are buying into Bitcoin as a safe haven, right? And that's something, of course, that's a very strong suit for Bitcoin, is that it is a safety currency, and we've seen that in the past. We're seeing it here. That's something that basically no other cryptocurrency out there really has. The same trust in a way that Bitcoin has. So that's something that's helping it. And overall, I think no matter what happens, despite maybe a big ETF disapproval or several, I think that Bitcoin should be able to, deal with this storm better than other cryptocurrencies, basically. Now, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for live cryptocurrency market updates. Link to that in the description of this video. And before I jump into the technical analysis, make sure to let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think we're going to be heading lower towards the end of 2018, or do you think we'll be able to make a recovery? Let me know in the comments down below so we can get a discussion going. And with that being said, let's start our technical analysis. So first off, Bitcoin, of course. Right now, we're still in this little symmetrical triangle formation, and basically, we're trying to get out of this downtrend line. Not really happening just yet. A little bit of flattening out on the indicators, which I like. So that could maybe spark a little bit of a move higher. We did end up testing $6,500. Weren't able to get a break above that just yet, but the indicators are actually showing some slight signs of a recovery. I'm not expecting any type of huge move right now, especially with this middle band moving lower and that upper Bollinger Band moving lower. That's really going to tighten up the price range. So I'd say the bigger price range that we're trading in right now is $6,000 up until $6,800. But really, I expect this to be relatively flat with a couple ups and downs for a while here, almost into basically the next month, where we're still going to have another symmetrical triangle that we're going to be trading in, and then of that is around $6,100. So that's the price target, over the next 3-4 weeks, basically. And that's why I think that no matter what move we see, right, except if it's a big breakout or breakdown, we'll be relatively flat heading towards that $6,100 mark at the end of the symmetrical triangle formation that's drawn out between these two yellow trend lines right here. But overall, right, we're holding up much better than other cryptocurrencies, and we just have a lot of support layers. So the only thing that's really going to cause Bitcoin to drop significantly at this point, I think, is a series of ETF rejections, which is definitely possible, like I said. So we'll see what happens with that, but that's really going to be the wild card here. That why they're, make crypto and Bitcoin specifically get a bull run or move significantly lower. Now, moving on to Ethereum, very interesting what's going on right now. Basically completely fell off a cliff over the last couple days after moving below $361. This is basically what I predicted, right? I said that we are going to test $273, have my support level drawn out here, and that's exactly what's happening. So we're probably going to get a test of that, and afterwards we'll have to see, is that our bounce area, right, or are we going to fall even lower down to our next support level, which is going to be, let's see, I'm going to zoom out just a bit here. Next support level is actually all the way down to around $220. So we'll see what happens, right? It's going to be pretty clear if we start moving below $273 that that's what's going to happen next. But for now, we're going to expect some kind of stabilization, even if it's just a little bit, at around $273. But we have a huge amount of selling volume. So I would consider Ethereum overall to be in free fall mode right now and would absolutely not touch it. It seems like there's bigger markets at play here with Ethereum, and maybe something going on with the ICOs or something, money just going back into Bitcoin. But I think that this is not the end of the drop for Ethereum, and overall with cryptos, due to that uncertainty with ETFs, we could see much more downside, especially for the altcoins, right? I think it's almost guaranteed that altcoins drop lower. Once again, not financial advice, just my personal opinion. Now, taking a look at Litecoin, we can see that we're basically just about to make a new low here in the short term, and that's probably just going to start pushing us down to $46 pretty quickly here, especially with that drop of Ethereum. So not expecting any type of stabilization before we reach that $45 mark. Let's take a look at Nano, see what's going on. Once again, I'm not liking Nano here. I think overall it's been very weak, and since it's one of those smaller altcoins that's not in the spotlight right now, I don't think it has any reason to be able to hold up well here. So we're putting in a new low here in the short term, continuing this downtrend. Like I said, I think maybe a little bit of stabilization around 15,000 Satoshis, but really I'm expecting 10,000 Satoshis or lower here over the next few weeks. We're in a very clear bearish trend here for Nano and other altcoins even, but as you can see, we've been very consistently around or below the 30 line on the RSI. So that's a typical sign of a bearish market. Let's go ahead and take a look at Ripple, see what's going on. Ripple has been a little bit at the limit of its support level here, so we'll have to see what's happening, see if we're getting a bigger drop here today. And unfortunately we are, so we're moving below 30 cents. This is something that I really hoped wasn't going to happen, and unfortunately, just where we're seeing the extent of this drop here, we're really getting sent right back down to before we had even the huge crypto run up last year, and that's something that's happening with a lot of altcoins. So the pattern seems to be pretty clear. Next stop is going to be 15 cents for Ripple. Crazy to think about considering how high we went, but that's the next big support level, and for now there's no signs of any type of bounce. We're in complete free fall mode on the indicators and on the price. Let's go ahead and take a look at Neo, see what's going on. Let's go ahead to the Bittrex chart here. Neo is currently falling down to $13. Going to test that, I think, within the next 2 to 3 days. Full free fall mode right now on the indicators. Hopefully we'll get some kind of stabilization or bounce there. If we're able to get a strong bounce on a lot of these altcoins here that are about to touch some important support levels within the next 2 or 3 days, then that could really help us to hopefully, get some peace of mind knowing that we're not going to crumble even lower than that. But for now, we are in free fall mode, and we just need to see if we're going to get some nice support at our next important support levels for Neo here and for other altcoins, which are all pretty much in a similar situation, right? Bitcoin is the only exception here. Let's go ahead and take a look at EOS, which is also in free fall mode. Very consistent, big selling volume here over the last several days, and full free fall mode. Next support level is 7,000 Satoshis, and I actually think that we might get a drop down to the next support level, which will be, let's see, going to draw that out right here, around 5,450 Satoshis. Let's go ahead, take a look at our next crypto, which is going to be Stellar Lumens, and see what's going on. So Stellar Lumens is currently still holding up decently well. I believe it might have gotten some bullish news here with Facebook, but I didn't follow the exact details. Or whatever the case may be, Stellar is actually one of the altcoins that I think might be a little bit of an exception to the bigger market drop here. So similar to Bitcoin in a way that, it has more backing and trust, and also has some bullish fundamentals like the potential Bitcoin Coinbase listing. So it's been holding up well over the last few months. I think that's going to continue, right? We probably won't get any type of huge breakout or anything, but right now the indicator is still holding up. Definitely a little bit of a bearish inverse hammer candlestick right now in the price, but I think that we have a fair chance of staying in the symmetrical triangle formation between our two yellow trend lines and basically, remaining relatively flat with a couple ups and downs up until the end of our symmetrical triangle formation, which would be sometime in November, at which point, our target price would be 3,300 Satoshis and then break either higher or lower from there. So I think that, consolidating in the symmetrical triangle formation is already very good compared to the drop that other altcoins could potentially get here. Let's go ahead and take a look at Lisk. Lisk has lost a lot of its strength over the last couple of weeks and actually stabilizing a little bit here at $2.83. But I'm not counting on anything. I think that until we're able to see a very clear recovery, maybe above $4 or something like that, we'll just continuously see Lisk fall lower. I think the next stop is going to be $2. Bearish on all the indicators. Huge amount of selling volume here. Definitely wouldn't touch it. Let's go ahead, take a look at Cardano. Cardano has some things going for it fundamentally, but unfortunately, right now the price is just pushing lower consistently. So this is basically what I said, right? That we're very likely to test 1,254 Satoshis. At this point, it's looking even more likely with our new drop here, which is putting us lower below our support level up here. And, we're about to turn even more bearish on the indicators. I would say over the next week, very fair chance that we're already down to 1,254 Satoshis. Probably going to get some stabilization there, however. Let's go ahead and take a look at IOTA, see what's going on. So we're going to take a look at Bitfinex here. And right now, IOTA is currently at 33 cents, moving towards 33 cents. Very consistent downtrend here. Bearish on the indicators, no sign of stopping. So that's where I think we're heading next. As per my prediction that I made, several days ago, possibly even weeks ago, I've been talking about this 33-cent level to kind of close the gap here. So basically pushing us back down to pre-run-up levels. And that's where I think we're heading next, right? Until we get some signs of stabilization. Altcoins are looking very weak. Bitcoin should be able to hold up better, but could also get some bearish news down the line, which could push it towards the downside. With that being said, thanks for watching. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you next time.